Coming up here on the Buffalo Bills Breakdown, Harrison Graham from Chat Sports brings you the latest Bills news from OTAs. As got the latest on James Cook, plus Joey Bosa dealing with an injury. Is it serious? Is it not? Should we be concerned? Should we not be concerned? All that coming up here on the Breakdown. But I'm going to challenge our Jets channel. The Jets report to a subscriber battle this week. 0-0, starting fresh the day after Memorial Day here. You want to take down the Jets? We've owned the Jets, the Bills have, for years and years and years. So if you want to take them down this week, hit that subscribe button. We will keep you guys up to date with everything surrounding Bills OTAs. Okay, first things first, every single Bills player present for OTAs except for James Cook, according to Sean McDermott. And this should not be a surprise. James Cook wants a new contract. He made that clear a few months ago. I think he posted something on social media. There was reports that he wants $15 million per year, which at the time I was like, I like Cook. It feels a little lofty. But you kind of look at the market, and I can't really argue with it, right? I mean, he's not Saquon Barkley. He's not fully healthy Christian McCaffrey, but they're kind of in their own tier now. $19, $20 million per year, how dynamic they are, both as runners and pass catchers. Like, they're in their own category. If Derrick Henry was a few years younger, he'd probably be pushing those numbers as well. But even he got a raise from Baltimore one season into his 2-year contract, basically doubling his deal from $8 million per year to $15. And then Jonathan Taylor sitting at 14 there. He's better than Alvin Kamara, the current version of that. So, like, at worst, he should be fourth or fifth highest paid behind Jonathan Taylor. But I think he's a more complete back than Taylor when you factor in his pass catching ability. I think he's got a pretty strong case for $15 million per year. Now, would I take Derrick Henry just for this year in a vacuum over James Cook? Yeah, but I think part of what this would look like is you would get him at $15 per year on a 3 or 4 year deal, and that deal ages nicely. You know, Derrick Henry's 1 year at a time, 2 years at a time at this point in his career. James Cook is still a very, very young player. So, like, I would be pretty comfortable, and I think he's got a pretty strong argument saying, 4 for 60 with 45 guaranteed. I mean, that's, to me, a pretty fair deal if you're James Cook and his representation. You look at what he's done the last couple of years. He's got over 2,000 rushing yards. He's got over 700 receiving yards. He has 24 total touchdowns. He has become the top skill player in this offense. There's not a receiver on the team better than him. There's not a tight end on the team better than him. He's obviously, by far, the lead running back in that running back room. Ty Johnson and Ray Davis are fine, but like, if you take James Cook out of this offense, that running, you kind of get back to, we're not really a team that leans on our running backs at all. We're just, Josh Allen will throw, run, he'll do it all. And obviously Josh Allen, I'm not diminishing Josh Allen, he still does a ton, but like, James Cook and his emergence the last couple of years has kind of changed this offense in the sense that they can be a bit of a power run team too. Like, they can do that, and not just with Josh Allen being a runner. So I think his value for this team and this offense is pretty high. And if I'm him and his agents, I'm probably not playing out the final year of my rookie deal for a couple $1 million or whatever the case may be. So I do think a deal will get done. I don't know when. I don't think he'll report to OTAs without a new deal. We'll see on mandatory minicamp. He would be subject to fines if he doesn't report to that. I would expect him at training camp without a new deal, but I also think there's a decent chance he'll get a new deal before then. But yeah, I think he's going to get paid, and I think it's going to be a pretty penny. If he hit the open market today, I think his floor would be $15 million per year. I think he would get a ton of money from a handful of teams. So yeah, I think Buffalo is going to have to pay up here, and they should, because he's become a focal point of their offense, as they're obviously in a win-now window here. Okay, over under $14.5 million per year for James Cook. What should he get? O for over, U for under? I think it's over. I'm not saying it should be like 18, but like, I think 15 is fair. I think a $15 million per year. We've seen the value in running backs really return in recent years. Screen game, running the football, especially when the weather turns, just having someone reliable out of the backfield. And again, his ability to catch the ball makes him one of the rare true 3-down backs in this league. I think over $14.5 million is appropriate. Okay, we also have this news update that Sean McDermott provided. Joey Bosa is expected to be sidelined until training camp. He's dealing with a calf injury. I think we saw elsewhere it's a calf strain. Look, normally I wouldn't be that concerned. It's May. I don't want to say who cares, but kind of who cares. The Bills are a really good team. But I think it's one of those exceptions where it's fair to have some concern. This is a player who has had numerous injuries in recent years. There's a reason his production's dipped a little bit. There's a reason the Chargers moved on. And there's a reason he had to sign a one-year deal, because his play is diminished in large part due to numerous injuries. He has missed 23 games over the past 3 seasons. Now, he played in 14 last year, but he left a few early as well, so that's kind of a misleading stat. But look at the amount of injuries he has had just since 2020. For one, he's had 3 concussions. Now, he hasn't had any in the last few years, so that's good, but that's always a concern, especially playing in a cold weather place. Like, you're more susceptible to potentially suffering a head injury. He tore his groin in 2022. He sprained his foot in 2023. And in last year, he fractured his wrist in preseason. So, like, not only has he been injury prone, he's had a lot of different injuries. He had a few before 2020 as well, but I'm just focusing on the past 5 years. This is a player that, is not going to play 17 games. I think that's pretty safe to say. Now, the good news for Buffalo is I don't think Joey Bosa was signed to be like, oh, we have to bank on him being a really, really good player. I think he was viewed as, okay, let's raise the depth and raise the floor of this room. Whether he's a starter, whether he's a high rotation player, whatever the case may be, like, we just need more bodies and waves of pass rushers. So I'm not saying they're not relying on him. I'm just saying they don't need him to be a superstar. But what has held this team back in the postseason? They've lacked that extra punch coming off the edge and rushing the passer and getting after Patrick Mahomes. The reason they have not been able to beat the Chiefs is they can't get pressure on Mahomes, and part of bringing in Joey Bosa is for January, ideally February, to come be maybe that missing piece on this defensive front. So is this a huge deal sitting here on May 27th? No, it's not a huge deal. But is it a nothing burger? I would say no. I think this is something to monitor because, again, this is a guy who is just susceptible to injuries, especially soft tissue, at this point in his career, and you just have to assume he's going to miss time. The hope is he plays 12-plus games and he's available for the playoffs. I mean, that's really what you're banking on here. You're not saying, hey, come give me 12 sacks, play all 17 games. It's no, be healthy for the postseason, and when you are out there, be a factor. So hopefully that ends up being the case for the Bills. Better now than in mid-August, but yeah, definitely once training camp gets here, Bills fans are going to want to monitor this situation because, again, this is a guy who has been hurt quite a bit here. Okay, what is your concern level with Joey Bosa's calf injury? Scale 1 to 10. I'll give it right down the middle. Give it 5. Give it a 6. Mildly concerned is what I would say. But again, most injuries this time of year that aren't season-ending, you're kind of like, I'll see you in training camp. Not with this one. This is one that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. All right, that'll do it for today's Bills Breakdown. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. My name is Harrison Graham. We will be back tomorrow. Not sure if it'll be me or someone else, but we'll get you caught up on everything else surrounding the Buffalo Bills, so stay tuned.